Hello riders or not. Today on the vlog is Ducati Supersport S. On the last episode, on the first impressions of the bike, I called the Supersport a superbike, and that was a mistake I made. It is not a superbike. As you all know, English is not my first language, and I thought the superbike and a sports bike is exactly the same thing. It's just the English way of calling the same thing few different names. Let's clear the things out. Superbike and sports bikes are two different things, and this is a sports bike, a road sports bike. I had a Supersport for over 2 weeks, and that is, guys, not enough. It is enough for a review, definitely it is, but it's not enough for me because I fell in love with it. I mean, I rode other Ducatis and I loved them, but they didn't stand out as much as this does for me. This is clearly, definitely my favorite Ducati that I ever rode, and probably my favorite bike as well. First of all, I think we look together so well. I think it fits me perfectly, like that wonderful designer, Italian designer dress or shoes. It's just perfection. Look at it. I'm 1 centimeters, 5'9", and look at this. I've been taught an exercise which I'm telling you, I have to repeat, especially if you can't find your way to sit on a sports bike. I've been asked, how do you sit on the sports bike? And I was like this. He said, where your feet are, like how do you place your feet? So they are on the cushions, aren't they? And then your knees are bent and you are like this. The core holds everything, so my hands are completely loose. I can do whatever with them. And he told me to repeat exactly the same on the bike. And look how far I sit, and everything just fell together for me. It's so much easier for me to go to side, sitting back. So I am sitting very back. I have a gap here, and I feel so much more comfortable and confident than when I sit like this at the beginning. And it was very strange to move, and I had some pressure in my arms, whereas now, riding in the right position, after 2 sessions on the track where really you concentrate and you push yourself, I don't feel any pressure in my wrists anywhere. My body, except from rubbing leather on this bone here, that hurts so much. Except from that, which has nothing to do with the bike or sitting position, but everything to do with that uncomfortable leathers, it just feels right. So if you're riding sports bike and you can't find your sitting position, try this tip. That works magic and makes such a huge difference. Good luck. But it is hot. when I rode it on the hot day, I could definitely feel a lot of heat on my thighs, and I wouldn't like being stuck in the traffic in Thailand on this, definitely not. However, when I wore leather trousers, I couldn't feel the heat. So that is a solution on that. It's kind of not, because on the hot day you don't want to wear leathers. At the same time, you don't want to feel the heat of a bike, so you have to choose of, are you suffering from the heat from the weather, or you're suffering from the heat from the bike, or you choose not to ride on the hot day, which happened yesterday. I chose to have it as an editing day because it was 29 degrees in UK, and in UK 29 degrees it's not the good weather to ride Ducati Supersport. Now guys, we're going for a quick spin. I only have about 20 minutes left till my brother coming to help me to roll this into the van, and then we will continue our conversation tomorrow on the track. And if it is something I will have to add, I'll probably do that in the van on the way home. The Supersport S has both a quick shifter and a blipper. I love the quick shifter, it's nice and smooth, but the blipper sometimes I don't like it. I hit into neutral sometimes, it's not very smooth and I don't like it. I don't catch it, not just yet definitely. But quick shifter, I'm getting used to it so much that almost wanted to use a quick shifter on my Harley when I was riding it. So it's nice and it's easy to get used to as well. I'm smiling, guys. I'm smiling ear to ear. I am in love with that bike. I am in love with it, absolutely. So now we're going past the fingering hoe, and it is a 30 miles per hour speed, so I have a chance to talk with you guys. I mean, I try my best not to speed, and this bike allows you to do both. Allows you to push, but at the same time you can sit back because of the slightly raised bars, not the clip-ons. It's clip-ons, I think, but they are like on the brackets here, so they are raised up. You have a little bit more upright sitting position, so cruising through the town, just look, I feel absolutely comfortable. I don't feel a pressure on my back. Wearing a very heavy backpack, I feel alright. Mirror fixture is giving up, and that annoys me.
beautiful. It's so beautiful. I don't want to give it back. I would fix the mirror and ride it every day, almost every day. As much as I try to ride it as much as I can, still, you wouldn't believe, guys, how much time as a full-time YouTuber I spend on my computer. Is all the admin work as well as all the editing, mostly editing. Oh, that mirror now is very annoying. Like today, I spent most of the day editing, and only in the evening I had time to play on the bike and go filming. Now we will cruise home because the mirror gave up. Here we go. As much as I tried my best, as soon as you go fast, it's not holding. That babe is not holding. Those of you who are not familiar with my channel and came here for the review, this is the first sports bike review I'm doing. The first full sports bike review and the first sports bike loan that I have. So I can't compare it with any other sports bikes. But if you are like me, coming from cruisers, coming from classics, coming from that sort of motorcycles, different motorcycles, this might be the best review for you, because I am looking at it as a beginner, somebody who just started riding a sports bike, and telling you it took me, I don't know, 10-15 minutes to start feeling it, to start feeling familiar with it, and after a little bit longer I felt on it better than on any ride. The response of it, the response to your body, it's amazing. And those of you who are riding sports bikes and will say like every sports bike response is like this, most probably, I don't know. I never had one long enough to feel that. I never rode one long enough to feel that. But this, I feel like it. And I can't wait to try more, to compare them, to see the difference, to feel the difference. But Supersport really impressed me in a very good way, despite that flopping mirror. But it's not Supersport's fault, isn't it, that somebody hit it? Even though it is a weak point, it doesn't matter, somebody hit it still. So shame on you. If you're watching my channel, shame on you. You're probably not a biker, you're probably not interested in motorcycles, because you think it's okay to break the mirror and just get away and ruin somebody's good rides. And now I feel a heat. Today is a perfect riding weather. It's 20 degrees. The bike shows you over here. It shows quite a lot of things over here, which I try not to look too much because it is distracting. It's 20 degrees. It feels great. Feels warm, but not hot. It feels just great, and I could feel the heat. I wouldn't say it's disturbing, it's just hot, but not too hot. Nothing to to be upset about. but then the weather is not too hot. So if you are in a hot country and you're thinking of a super sport, as I said, you have to choose between the suffering from the weather or suffering from the leather. Alright guys, I'm in Colchester. I don't want everyone to know where I live, so I'll switch the camera off now, but I'll see you tomorrow, maybe on the way to Silverstone. Maybe I'll have a need to talk to someone at 4 a.m. driving 2.5 hours early morning to get to the track. It's gonna be one cracking day. I'm looking forward to it, as well as I'm a little bit frightened and not sure how I'm gonna handle a lack of sleep and everything all together. We'll see. It's gonna be a good day. I'm sure it's gonna be an amazing day, and I will end it with a big smile. Oh, look at that puppy! With a huge smile. See you soon, guys.
Hello from Silverstone, guys, from Ducati Track Day. I'm very nervous. I barely slept tonight. Really nervous, but I just spoke with the instructor and he told me to relax and also told me amazing tips how to ride the track, and not just the track, overall how to ride a sports bike. And I will try to remember everything I needed for today, practice, put it in practice, and then afterwards to do a full episode what I've learned as a beginner on the track. And the first group just coming back after the first lap. So much red, that is so beautiful.
Then I'll wave you through.
Okay.
Okay?
Now, looking back at that footage, following my instructor for those first few laps and looking at my lines, I only can compliment a Supersport further. I felt comfortable. I felt good on that bike. I felt that it has so much more potential and so much more I can learn, and that was thrilling and that was great. It was a good feeling, and that's exactly what I wanted. But at the same time, it wasn't intimidating. It was like a very well-trained horse that listens to everything you tell him to do, that listens to every single command and follows your body just perfect. And that was mind-blowing. The bike that felt comfortable on the road. The bike that made me want to travel across Europe, to travel to Sicily, the same bike, I felt so good on the track. I felt like it belongs here too, that I belong on it here too, and that it has so much more potential and so much more I can learn in it. It's like a perfect balance between two worlds.
It was times when I felt absolutely like, whoa, what I am doing. And I didn't feel confident that I'm good enough for that, that I'm ready for that, that I rode those bikes enough. It felt like I'm way too slow. I would like to be faster. I would like to be confident and as good as some guys who were overtaking me. But then I spoke with the instructor afterwards, after he followed me for about 6 laps, and he surprised me. He said that I'm really good. He said I'm very fluent on the track and that it's a very, very good starting point. I wasn't pushing to go as fast as I can. I was concentrating on getting the corner right, on getting my body position right, on looking the right way, on sitting the right way, and riding it the right way. Because I knew if I'm gonna master that, and if I'm gonna learn that to some degree, the speed will come. One thing, he asked Ducati guys to duct tape my mirrors because I was looking at the mirrors too much on the straight line, concentrating on everyone passing me rather than concentrating on my riding, because I thought if they'll pass me on the straight, then I can concentrate on doing the corners right. And I was slowing down a lot just to let everyone pass. He said, do not even think about it, just do you, and the faster riders will overtake you one way or another. Just follow your lines, so you will be a lot more predictable for them to overtake you. And that's what I did on the next session, and that worked amazingly. So that is a top tip for you for your first track day. If you will decide to do it, go for it, because after that first go, all the nerves are gone, and on the second session the time flew just like that. I still love the bike. I spoke with some other people who rode it, and some said that it is a little bit heavy for a sports bike. I will see after I'll ride more sports bikes, but so far I absolutely love it. It's so forgiving, it's so easy to ride. I learned so much today. On the track, you definitely can push yourself, concentrate on riding, on the bike, on the cornering, on body position, on all the things that makes you a better rider, rather than think too much about the road surface, about the trees around, about so many things that is on the road. Also, you don't have to even look on your speed out. You can go any speed that you are comfortable with or not. I'm back home. I was so tired yesterday at the end of the day. I was too tired to record anything in my van, just had to concentrate on getting back home. It took me 2.5 hours driving in the ridiculous traffic, but I was happy, and it was very nice to put everything together and to think once again how incredible Supersport was for me that time that I had it. And of course, as every single motorcycle, it has flaws that I haven't mentioned in the video, and I had some time to think in my van. For example, the mirrors, if you're going quite fast, you can't see anything because of the vibration. And when or if I will get a Supersport, I'm definitely making some changes with that. But I'm not using mirrors that much anyway, and on the track, I've been told not to use them. They've been taped for me, so that's not the biggest issue, definitely. Also, I heard from other people as well that they had some issues with the blipper, that is not the best. And somebody mentioned when I posted about the Supersport that they are missing a cruise control when they're traveling longer. I haven't, because I enjoy that. I'm getting bored with the cruise control. I never use cruise control because I'm getting bored. Like, how can you go the same speed all the time? No, I don't like it. But the reason is the mess here, and the reason I started recording now is not just about the Supersport, but I found something unpacking, something very, very amazing, very exciting. I had a test. That's how comfortable I was on Supersport. That is the proof how confident one can feel on a Supersport as a first sports bike. Can't be better than this. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you